Welcome back at the half on the PAC Sports Network. We're joined by Rob Clune, head coach of the Thiel Tomcats. And Coach, over half your roster, or about half your roster, underclassmen, obviously a very young team. Talk about how this team has grown from the first half of the season and now down through the final month of the season, where you hope to see lessons learned here down the stretch.
Well, every season, basketball season is a long season. It starts at mid-October and runs all the way to February. So there's a lot of growth that can take place, a lot of development that can take place. And that's the key thing with any team, with any coach, when you're developing your team, developing your players, is making sure that they realize that they have a lot of opportunity for that growth, and that if they keep working at it and looking for little things throughout practices, try to get a little bit better at doing fundamental things, continue to work on those things throughout the year. It can pay dividends, and you can see it as it develops. And, just the other night we're watching going, okay, yeah, we saw one of our players do a very, very, fundamental thing that she hadn't done before. So you pick up little things. So as you develop, you can start seeing those things, and they're buying in, and they're working at it. And it's hard because we haven't had the success, finishing off games. We've been in, close contests, a couple of them, but hopefully they can, stay in there, keep working at it, and keep getting better. You have a breakthrough game, hopefully, and hopefully that's coming.
I mentioned a lot of young, talented players. Jess Vormelker, a sophomore, last year saw significant playing time as a freshman, and I remember talking with you then that you felt that she had a bright future, and she's really taken on a bigger role this year, leading the team in just about everything. What can you say about her and the job she's done now as a sophomore?
Yes, she comes from a situation where she was one of the only scorers on our high school team, someone who could put the ball in the basket. So she was very used to having all the attention defensively. Now she goes to college, so teams don't know about her as much. And then she plays, and last year she was really relied too heavily on the three-point shot. So we really talked to her about, hey, developing the game off the dribble, attacking the basket, because they're going to start closing in on you. And you can see she's has a better balance of taking the ball to the basket and shooting the threes. Now she's in a situation, and just the other day we played Westminster, where they pretty much denied her the ball, and that's the next phase. It's like they know about you now. Now you're a scorer. Now you're a name. Now you have to learn how to play with that attention defensively, how to do a little things, move without the ball a little bit better, score different ways, and get to the foul line, and, maybe make your teammates a little bit better with passing. And that's something she continues to develop. And, you look at her numbers, you look at what she's doing with all the attention defensively, she's only a sophomore. So, she has a bright future. She works really hard. She's a great kid. So there's really a lot to build on there.
And other talented sophomore guards, Olivia Sidley and Danielle Lucido, certainly complement Jess Vormelker in the guard play. What do they add to the team in terms of how they can help out Vormelker?
Yeah, first, the two of them work really hard defensively. When you have guards who defend like they do, they can really, really take some pressure off at the other end, as far as maybe create some offense with their defense. Olivia Sidley spent she transferred out and then transferred back, so she's only been with us since January. So, but she develops. We liked her last year. She played a lot at the end of last year. She's a good athlete. In really developing her offensive skills throughout the guard skills, because when she played in the AAU circuit and played in the high school, she played mostly interior, in the inside, and she has really good defensive skills down there, but she never really developed those guard skills as far as taking the ball to the basket, using ball fakes, and she has a lot of athleticism, so that growth and that potential is there. Danielle is like just the heart. She gives you, you watch her play, she gives you every ounce of effort out there. And, she's developing as an offensive player, really didn't score a lot in high school, but getting that confidence, has done a nice job going to the basket. Her jump shot's gotten a lot better, but, just someone that, you can count on Danielle. Danielle's going to give you an effort every time out.
Taylor Duchamp, a player that's been a swing player for you in the past, this year really focusing on being a post player. Great outside shot. How beneficial is it to have a player of her ability with her versatility?
Now, I know you interviewed her, and she's a great story. She came out of high school, really didn't play too much in high school, with good size, 5'10", 5'11", but not the skills. But she has developed. She played a little bit as a freshman and got a lot of, those freshman mistakes out there. And that's how you grow. You got to make mistakes. You're going to go out there. She's learned from them. She continues to grow as a player, but she works at it in the offseason. She's one of those players. As coaches, we always try to make sure they understand that between March and October is where battles are won in winter. And so that's where you want things to develop, and you can. And she's a great story as, hey, look at this player. She's developed her offensive game. She can shoot the ball. She'll have games where she'll have 20, 23 points, shooting the three, taking the ball to the basket, and getting offensive rebounds. So she's really a good story as far as work ethic and developing skills, and she's still developing as a player.
And junior guard Brigitte Journet, one of the team leaders in assists behind Jess Vormelker, certainly adds a lot in terms of distributing the ball. How does she help facilitate the offense?
She's a very fast guard, and she continues to develop herself as a playmaking guard. I think at first she was more of trying to be a scoring guard, and she's starting to realize that utilizing her speed, getting by people. There's not many guards in the league that can stay in front of her once she gets going with a head of steam because she's that fast. And she's really developing, trying to get a little bit better at the foul line because, she slashes to the basket. She's going to get fouls, but she's developing that complete game as a point guard and getting a little bit better balance as far as looking for her shot and looking for her teammates.
Talking with some of the other coaches in the league, they certainly feel that this Thiel team is much better than what the overall record would indicate. How do you feel about that? I'm sure you would agree that this team is a lot better. The talent's there is a lot better than maybe what the wins and losses would show.
It's one of those things. You live it every day. You look at tape, you look at practice, and yes, and it's frustrating because you see the stretches that you are good. You see the stretches that they're doing the things they need to do, and then you also see the downside. You see the stretches, and that's the challenge, is for them to buy in, and that's the thing as a coach. We have some young players. We've mixed and matched some things as the season's gone on. We had a couple injuries that we're working through, but from the standpoint, it's the mental aspect, that if we can continue to work hard and see that the light is at the end of the tunnel and just say, it's coming. And I've been there before. I've coached teams out of, rebuilt teams when I was at Bethany. We took 5 years to get the right attitude, get the right culture, and that's what you're trying to do. And it's starting to take shape. It's still not there yet, but it's starting to take shape. You can see some of the signs, some of the players, some of the work ethic in the offseason. So there are some positive signs. Now you got to keep them on track and keep them pushing forward.
That's Thiel head coach Rob Clune. Coach, thanks for your time and good luck.
Thank you.
We'll have more coming up in a moment on the PAC Sports Network.